Hello, everybody. I hope that you are good, doing good today. And my topic is promote youth psychosocial resilience and mental well-being. Youth for a sustainable future, serve, lead, innovate. My name is Anusha Ali, an associate clinical psychologist, neuro-linguistic programming master practitioner. And today I'm representing Pakistan from the platform of Markaz-e-Umeed. So let's begin with the definition of health. That is, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Mental health is more than just the absence of mental disorders or disabilities. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. So let's talk about youth. Youth is a period of life in between childhood and adulthood. It is described as a time of experimenting with roles and identities, still void of the burden of social norms and obligations, yet slowly preparing the youngsters for their lives as full members of the social collective. Young people not only present the future of our country, they are one of society's main agents of change and progress and have a great effect on economic development too. What are the most common mental health issues faced by children and youth today? Let's think about it. Some of the most common disorders among youth include anxiety, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that is also known as attention deficit disorder, depression and other mood disorders, substance use, eating disorders, and mainly behavioral disorders. Let's talk about the facts and figures that are very much important to start the work on the statistical side. So, suicide is the fourth leading cause of death in individuals aged 15 till 29 years. Around 1 in 9 people in settings affected by conflict have a moderate or severe mental disorder. People with severe mental disorder die 10 to 20 years earlier than the general population. In low income countries, there are fewer than one mental health staff per 100,000 population, compared with more than 60 in high income countries. The global economy loses about US dollar 1 trillion per year in productivity due to depression and anxiety. Globally, 1 in 7, 10 to 19 years old experiences a mental disorder, accounting for 13% of the global burden of disease in the age group. Depression, anxiety, and behavioral disorders are among the leading cause of illness and disability among adolescents. 1 in 5 young people aged from 13 to 18 years has or will develop a mental illness in their lifetime. Youth depression rates have risen from 5.9% to 8.2% since 2012. And let's give an outlook that after COVID 19, it's even risen greater. Global threats heighten risk of mental health, economic downturns, and social polarization. Public health emergencies, widespread humanitarian emergencies, forced displacement, and the growing climate crisis is the problems that help us giving consideration to the mental health. So what are the main causes of mental health issues in youths? This include increased stress, fear, and anxiety, parental depression, that has a huge role in the mental health issues of youth. Negative family environment may include parental substance abuse, child mistreatment or abuse by parents, family conflict, loss of school, sport, church community routine, loss of supportive relationships with friends, extended family members, or mentors. Causes of mental health issues are also including childhood abuse, trauma, or neglect, social isolation or loneliness, experiencing discrimination and stigma, including racism, social disadvantage, poverty or death, and also losing someone close to them, severe or long term stress, having a long term physical health condition. So let's talk about how does mental health affect youth. Youth with mental health disorders are more likely to be unhappy at school, be absent, or be suspended or expelled. Their learning is negatively impacted because of poor concentration, distractibility, inability to retain information, poor peer relationships, and aggressive behavior. Why is mental health awareness important in youth? Good health is an essential part of healthy youth development. It helps young people build positive social, emotional, thinking, and communication skills and behaviors. It is also lays down the foundation for better mental health and well-being later in life. Mental health is one of the global issues, and we need to pay attention to it. The third SDG focuses on good health and well being and aims to ensure healthy lives and promote well being for all at all ages. This goal has 13 targets and target 3.4 aims specifically to reduce mortality from non communicable disease and promote mental health. Sustainability in mental health is the ability to provide high value care now and in the future in the face of environmental, economic, and social constraints. Mental health is an integral part of sustainable developmental goals. We argue that efforts to eradicate poverty, prevent conflict and disasters, and promote education will not be successful unless mental health is prioritized. Poor mental health and unfilled human potential pose major risk to changes that are needed if we are to reach the SDGs. So let's talk about universal goals that concerns us all. So there are 17 SDGs goals, and goal 1 and 2 and 6 is talking about eradicating poverty, hunger, and poor sanitization. So if there is a problem in mental health, then there is a problem in poverty, hunger, and poor sanitation, then there might be chances that a person might go through malnutrition, and that might leads to impair in brain development. Goal 3 and 4 is good health and education. There is a need of quality education that prospers good mental health. Goal 5, 10, and 16, promoting equality, peace, and justice. These goals can talk about the stigma that youths are going through, the discrimination that people are going through that have a serious impact on their mental health. Then goals 8, 9, and 11, economic prosperity, sustainable communities, that might lead towards the goal of maternal health. A mother's health is very much necessary to have a good youth development. Goals 7, 12, 13, 14, and 15, protecting the planet, natural resources. So if someone is going through some natural disasters, they might be having financial stresses because they might have, have a financial instability. Also, there is a post-traumatic stress disorder or a traumatic issues. As you all know that Pakistan is also going through floods and different climatic change issues. So here the people are also experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder. Humanitarian crises such as war are associated with heightened prevalence of mental disorders and distress. Violence is a major threat to mental health. For example, one meta-analysis of studies of conflict-affected populations found prevalence rates of 15.4% for post-traumatic stress disorder and 17.3% for depression. The Global Partnership to End Violence Against Children estimate that 120 million girls and 73 million boys have been victims of sexual violence, and almost 1 billion children are regularly subjected to physical punishment, all of which pose a serious risk to mental health. Mental health is important for people's ability to work and therefore for their productivity and economy. However, work also plays a crucial role for people's mental health. Sustainable cities and communities will require behavior change and innovation, whether this concerns clean energy or responsible consumption. Well-being, social networks, and realizing the full human potential are factors that will influence people's ability and will to adapt and learn. There is a substantial experience and evidence on mental health and psychosocial interventions in and after emergencies, which is valuable in the effort to reach the SDGs. The community context is crucial for promoting mental health in and for the SDGs. Both from a human rights perspective and an economic perspective, it is clear that mental health must be prioritized. If we are to reach the SDGs, we will need to develop the human potential so that more people can contribute to the work and changes needed. To achieve this increased resilience is central. Resilience points both towards promoting mental health in communities, families, and schools and workplaces, and to prevent and treat mental health disorders and substance abuse. Both must therefore be global priorities and responsibilities. In fact, the WHO definition of mental health is a state of well-being where individuals realize their potential, can cope with normal challenges in life, can work productively, and contribute to their community. Sum up much of what is needed if we are to reach the SDGs by 2030, yani 230. COVID-19 pandemic. This time is a crucial period for the entire world. People have struggled a lot in this time period, created a global crisis for mental health, fueling short and long-term stresses, and undermining the mental health of millions. Rise in both anxiety and depressive disorders at more than 25% during the first year of the pandemic. Mental health services have been severely disrupted, and the treatment gap for mental health conditions has widened. Now let's talk about the treatment, how we can deal with the youth mental health. What should be the intervention? What should be the action plan? How to work on it as a mental health professionals, as a youth, as a social worker, as a psychological team member. So let's talk about it. What is well-being and resilience? Good health is about more than just the absence of sickness. Focusing on well-being and building resiliency is important in establishing a holistic approach to health, addressing both physical and psychological states. World Health Organizations defines well-being as a state in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with normal stress of life, can work productively, and is able to make a contribution to his or her own community. Well-being involves having positive self-image and esteem. Let's talk about building how to build a resilience. Resilience, which is directly related to well-being, is about having the ability to cope with and adapt to new situations. Having a sense of resilience and positive well-being enables a person to approach other people and situations with confidence and optimism, which is especially important for young people given the enormous changes that occur with the transition into adolescence and adulthood. What are the six components of mental well being? Six factors that are very important. That is autonomy, environmental mastery, personal growth, positive relations with others, purpose in life, and self acceptance. Higher total scores indicate higher psychological well being. Do you know that resilience is a skill like riding a bike? When to focus on well being and resilience? Resilience is always important, but it can particularly equip people for time of change and stress, such as life transitions and changes, such as starting at a new school, after the breakdown of a relationship or a family, if diagnosed with or worried about a mental health problems, such as anxiety or an eating disorder. Resilience refers to an individual positive adaptation to the experience of adversity. That is why we are calling it as a skill. And it is a very important skill at the time of adversity. Resilience is an innate human capacity that can be learned and developed in anyone. All people have the ability to develop these skills that will put them on the path to resilience. According to many empirical disease and many empirical studies, resilience is negatively correlated with indicator of mental ill-being, such as depression, anxiety, and negative emotions, and positively correlated with positive indicators of mental health, such as life satisfaction, subjective well being, and positive emotions. Why is resilience important in healthcare? Being resilient will help to manage stressful situations, protect from mental ill health, and improve their mental health and well being. What are the seven C's of resilience? That is very much important. There are seven integral and interrelated components that make up being resilient. Number one, competence. Number two, confidence. Number three, connection. Number four, character. Number five, contribution. Number six, coping. And number seven, control. If a youth might learn or can learn this all of these seven C's of resilience through different interventions, they might be very much mentally strong. What are five skills of resilience for tough times? That are resilience is made up of five skills include self-awareness, mindfulness, self-care, positive relationships, and purpose. If a person knows what they are thinking, how they are thinking, and they can control what they are thinking and how they are responding, they can able to care about themselves most of the time, prioritizing their mental health, working on their positive relationships, and search out the meanings in their life, then they can go through and deal with tough times. So let's talk about what are the six pillars of resilience. So we have talked about up till now the seven C's of resilience, the five skills of resilience, and now we are talking about the six pillars of resilience. And they are satisfaction with lifestyle. People who lead a satisfying and fulfilling life tend to cope better with stress and adversity. So it means that one should have a satisfied lifestyle. Number two, supportive relationship. If you have a very good supportive people around you, your close one are supporting you through your hardships, then you might have a second pillar. The third one is physical well-being. If you are physically active, doing exercises and paying attention to your physical health, then you have the third pillar with you. The fourth pillar is solution focused coping. There are many people who are paying more attention to problems, but there are many people who are paying more attention to solution. So if a person have a skill to how to work on their solution focused coping, they have their fourth pillar with them. Then there is the fifth pillar is emotion focused coping. So many people in this world have problem dealing with their emotions, how to regulate their emotions and how to respond to it to the other people. They don't know how to communicate their emotions. So people who are good at emotion focused coping have the fifth pillar with them. And the last one is positive belief. It's been saying that people who are more involved in positive self statements are more empowered. So here we have the sixth pillar of resilience with you. Now let's talk about what are the four types of resilience. Because we have talked about pillars, skills, and the seven C's. And now we are talking about the types of resilience. That there are four types of resilience, in which there is physical resilience, mental resilience, emotional resilience, and social resilience, in which we have to pay attention. The benefits of resilience in our life. It associated with longevity, lower rates of depression, and greater satisfaction with life. There is a sense of control and it helps people feel more positive in general. Likewise, a lack of resilience means that you may not handle stress well in difficult situations. How do you build resilience to stress? So this is a very good question that we can deal about. So it's a good news that if we are going through stress or distress in our life, how we can build resilience? So first of all, you have to do is start with small changes in your routine to help build resilience to stressful circumstances. Work in time to exercise, eat healthy food, participate in relaxing activities. And in the relaxing activities, it's up to you. You might be involved in group therapies, the meditation group therapies, the mindfulness group therapies, the relaxation group therapies, in which you feel calm and pay more attention to your emotions, your awareness. And then the adequate sleep. In fact, including the regimen of exercises, which for some may include yoga or meditation, can be very important when feeling stress. How do you build resilience in hard times? So, this kind of questions usually come in our mind, that if we are going through hard times, how we will going to deal with. So, first of all, what you have to do is accept the situation. Focus on things within your control. Few things it's in our control and few things are not in our control. So we have to be more focused on the things within our control. Accept change by looking to your past. We have to accept whatever happened in the past. Prioritize relationships. Those relationships which are healthy for you, meaningful for you, prioritize them. Don't withdraw in tough times. Try to avoid negative or toxic people who are not good for your mental health. Expand your social network. Social networking is very much important, because if we able to socialize, if we able to connect with people, we can easily relate with them, with their lifestyle, and it's give a mutual connectivity that we all are going through same issues or same joyful moments. Get enough exercises, practice a mindful and body relaxation technique. Where does resilience come from? So, resilience is the ability to recover from difficult experiences and setbacks, to adapt, move forward, and sometimes even experience growth. An individual's resilience is dictated by a combination of genetic, so there is a role of biological factors as well in the capability of how we have noticed that few people have very good resilience skill from their childhood, from their early years of life. So yeah, there is a combination of genetics in their life, also a personal history, environment, and situational context. Why is resilience important for teenagers or youths or adolescents? So, it is important for resilience because it helps teenagers, youths, or adolescents to deal more positively with failures, mistakes, setbacks, and other tough times. For example, if a youth isn't picked for a sports team, they might feel disappointed, or they might have a very poor scores in their exams, so they might feel vulnerable. Then resilience is why it's good for children. So that's we already talk about it, that yeah, it's good because it helps in dealing with hard times. Then we have the 10 tips to build resilience. Get together, talk with your friends, and yes, even with your parents. In the younger in our young life, or in our the what we have observed in the youths, that they don't prefer to spend time with their parents, and they usually try to spend more time with their friends. So yeah, we should spend some time with the old age group, with the parents. Also, stick to the programs that you really enjoys. Take care of yourself, take control, and express yourself as much as you can. And try to help somebody. So, why is resilience important for youth? And what does resilience in youth mean? Rather, you are resilient when they are able to call for their inner strength to positively meet challenges, manage adversities, heal the effects of trauma, and thrive given their unique characteristics, goals, and circumstances. One of the very interesting intervention that helps in dealing with resilience is school-based social emotion learning intervention. Promote social and emotional skills in order to improve academic performance and well-being. Social and emotional learning have a very good aspects in our life. A child might learn how to deal with their emotions in context of their social regularities. Children can able to learn how to manage their emotions, how to achieve their positive goals, and how to empathize with others while having a positive relationship with others. While having resilience, keep in our mind, multimodal approach works best, such as we should have more emphasis on the teacher's education. Teachers should be well equipped and should have a good mental health approaches. They should be emotional sensitive with their children they are dealing with. Changes to the curriculum, including teaching skills and linking with academic learnings. The second thing is liaison with parents. Parents' education is very much important. Usually, we pay more attention to children's education, teachers' training, but there should be more attention towards the parents' training. That how to deal with children's emotions, how to deal with their problems, how to deal with their mental health issues, and how to help them understand what are the mental illnesses that children might be going to face in their future. Apart from it, there is community involvement. Youth should take part in community approaches. They should help people who are in need. They should pay more attention to service based things, voluntarily services that gives them a connectivity. Coordinated work with outside agencies. So every child should work like an agency approach. They should keep an eye that what they are going to do in their life. Either they are using so much social media, are they using so many gadgets in their life that is linked with technology. So they have to keep attention towards what they are using in their life, and they should control what they should use and what they should not use. If they really wanted to use a technology and they really wanted to connect with social media, then there should be a time limitation so that they can have a time to reflect back what they are going through in their life. Then we have, what can teachers do? So teacher is a very much important asset in youth's life. Whether a youth is in the part of college or whether they are involved in university, teachers or professor or lecturers plays a very crucial role because they create a safe and supportive learning environment, provide consistent guidelines for behavior, model appropriate responses and behaviors, provide opportunity for goal setting, success and reflection, and treat children with so much care. Then we have mental well-being interventions. So committing to mental health is an investment towards a better life and future for all. Anti-stigma interventions, particularly social context strategies through which people with lived experiences help to shift attitudes and actions. Regulatory bans on highly hazardous pesticides to prevent suicide, as there is a huge influence of suicidal practices in our society. And it's been observed that youths are very much involved in the suicidal ideation. So there should be regulatory bans on hazardous pesticides. And then there is a clinical interventions that includes psychological interventions that a practitioner may take psychological sessions one-on-one with the person who is going through a lot of serious mental illness, or there might be a group therapies in which mental health practitioner with a motive in their mind of resilience, they conduct a different group sessions. And also there should be a universal health coverage packages of essential service is vital. Transforming mental health starts with building the foundation for well functioning mental health systems. Services, governance and leadership, finance, public awareness, they all play a vital role in dealing with mental health issues. Competencies for mental health care, specialized workforce for mental health, and we have observed that people who have mental illness are not included. So there should be a social inclusion to promote right-based, person-centered recovery, oriented care and support should be keep in mind while doing a resilience work. So promotion and prevention to enhance mental well-being and resilience. Promotion and prevention can be cost effective. So yeah, if we pay more attention to the prevention side of mental well-being, then it's cost effective and it works wonders for people who are going through mental health issues. Because the more we prevent, the more we promote, the more the stigma will decreases and people able to share their problems with others. They have that comfort level. Suicide prevention is an international priority with a Sustainable Development Goal (SDG) target to reduce the suicide mortality rate by one third by 2030. And there should be an early intervention for suicidal behavior. So let's talk about meaningful youth engagement. A meaningful youth engagement helps young people to understand the dangers of drugs, as the youths are more into experiential learning. So they try to take drugs or harmful things that they might be enjoying but have lasting impact in their life. Apart from it, they might consume alcohol, and they have the very much negative impact on their daily lifestyle, and also the bullying. Youths might be going through a lot of bullying in their early years or in the time period of university. People might pass judgments, they might bully them, they make fun of them, and that's really difficult for them to deal with. So it also helps them to have great self-esteem and confidence if they engaged in a meaningful experiences with those they are really feel comfortable. And in this, resilience works best. Furthermore, it inspires them to consider a career in a field that they are passionate about. Youth should always chooses those professions in which they are more enjoying, and those professions in which they are passionate about, so that they gives them a sense of meaning in their life, and they can have a connectivity with their spirituality. Need to advancing mental health policies, advocacy, and human rights. So yeah, there is a now it's time to talk about action plan, that how we can do this. So the number one thing that we focuses on that globally mental health is positioned high on the development and humanitarian agendas. Local champions, people who use mental health services, and their organizations are empowered to participate in the development and implementation of mental health policies, strategies, laws, and services. Mental health policies, strategies, and laws are developed and operationalized based on international human rights standards. Media, and community awareness about the importance of mental health across the life course is raised. Human and financial responses for mental health are brought in line with the need. And lastly, we have scaling up interventions and services across community based general health and specialist settings. We have to keep in mind 6 points. The number one is quality, affordable mental health care is scaled up across health and social services. Number two, quality, affordable mental health care is integrated in relevant programs. For example, HIV/AIDS, gender based violence, disabilities. Number three, mental health and psychosocial support is included for preparedness, response, and recovery in emergencies. Number four, priority interventions for groups in position of vulnerability, for example, women, children, youth, older people, and staff, are developed and implemented. Number five, implementation is documented, monitored, and evaluated to improve services. And the last one is universal health coverage. Ensure access to quality and affordable care for mental health conditions in developing countries, specifically to 100 million more people. So today I have covered that how we can promote youth psychosocial resilience and mental well-being by discussing the problematic issues of mental health. Then we have talked about that how we can cope with it. So we talk about the resilience and the mental well-being interventions. I hope that this overall presentation might help the youths to lead, serve, and innovate in the world. And so that it might help the youth for the sustainable future to flourish, and helps the community to attain the 17 SDGs goals. Thank you so much. If there is any question, any queries you need to ask, you can mention in the question box and I will try to reply you back. Take care. Allah Hafiz.